What's going on, gang? We're here. This is day 5 without a Celtics game. They're never playing again.
No more basketball for us this season. We're done. It's
Bobby, you
cooked.
didn't join the clean shave club today. I was shaving yesterday, and I was about to text the chat, be like, Jack, you better shave. You're going to be the only one.
I hate that we didn't line up on that, but tomorrow
Egg
I
on
got
my
you.
face.
It
The
took me
plan is
far too
tomorrow.
long.
Yeah,
I
Jack's
will
not. Jack will trim, but he's not shaving anytime
Yeah,
soon.
I need to trim it. It's getting whack. Hello, everybody.
What's going on?
Welcome in. Welcome in.
What's up, really?
Hello. We finally know who the Celtics are playing in round 2. Sam and I dropped a preview of the series on the channel this morning. We're here. We're
Really
gonna be
keep
talking.
my eyes open.
We're gonna be talking a lot about this series before it starts because they don't play today. They don't play until tomorrow night, and yet we have talking seas today. Got a pod to record that drops tomorrow morning, and we've got roundtable tonight. So a lot of talk. That said, Bobby, thoughts on the Cavs because we now finally know.
Yeah, so the content's going to be heavy coming out of this network. And when it comes to the Cavaliers, one of the key points is something we discussed on, I believe it was Friday, where there's so many defenders to target on this team. I know that Cleveland ranked 7th in points allowed per game in the regular season, but the playoffs are a different beast, and it's going to be really difficult, especially for Donovan Mitchell, who we see what he means to the Cavaliers offensively, but also that he's constantly hobbling and doesn't look 100%. There was a report from a Cavs insider before Game 7, a little bit of excuse making potentially, that, hey, he's physically and emotionally exhausted right now. So he's going to be not just an easy target, but a necessary one because you're trying to wear him down over the course of the game and the series. Darius Garland can be a cone as well. So there's a lot of targets. And this Cavaliers team, they got some contributions at the other end from guys like Max Strus in the second half yesterday. But throughout that series against Orlando, it was really thin in terms of who was helping Mitchell carry the offensive workload. So this team, I just don't think they have enough firepower and too many targets on defense.
I love that Cleveland hadn't even finished their playoff series yet, and they're like, this dude is exhausted. Like, buddy, if you're trying to win a title, you got 3 more rounds of this. You can't be exhausted at the end of April, early May. I guess that plays into the hunch I've had on the Cavs for the entire time we've talked about them. Hit the button. I don't think the Cavs are going to bounce back if they are challenged. Mind you, they just won a 7-game series. Yes, I'm aware, but haven't won a game on the road yet. They've played well at home, kind of. They can't score the basketball at a high rate. And like you said, they got some cones out there for the boys to post up against. So it seems like a favorable matchup for the Celtics. Jack and I did like a who would you rather play in the Saturday into Sunday pod, and we were like, Cavs. They have Darius Garland and Mitchell as their best scorers. The Celtics have 2 of their best defenders as backcourt players in Holiday and Derek White. So you have good, ample matchups to handle those guys, not to mention the plethora of Tatum, Brown, guys off the bench that you can throw at them. The Celtics are well equipped to try and combat Cleveland's limited offensive firepower. That should play into their favor. We talked about this on the preview. Cavs, I don't think cracked 110 for that whole series. They only cracked 100 twice. The Celtics are not a team you're going to win games against by not scoring. You have to score. The Celtics are a good team. They are nothing if not consistent on offense just because they have a wide range of guys they can go to. If somebody else doesn't have it, Tatum maybe defers to Brown, maybe defers to Derek White like we saw in the Heat series. They have almost an endless amount of angles they can attack you from, and it's very difficult to keep up if you can't put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a Cavs team that made fewer than 10 threes in 5 of their 7 games. I wrote about this for Celtics Vlog. I don't think it's out yet, but you're not going to beat the Celtics if you don't make 10 threes in a game. That is literally, not only is it the only way the Heat managed to take a game off the Celtics, it's the only way the Cavs managed to take a game off the Celtics in the regular season was a miraculous shooting performance from Dean Wade in the 4th quarter. That's exactly how this Heat team beat the Celtics in the conference finals last year. It's the exact way the Heat beat the Celtics in game 2 of the first round. if you don't make threes against the Celtics, you lose. Almost by and large, unless the Celtics themselves are not making any threes, in which it's usually a pretty even playing field, and the Celtics talent usually comes out on top anyways. And for what it's worth, for those with the Dean Wade Demons, he's been out dealing with a I think knee injury, so he's hasn't been playing, so I don't think he'll be playing in the series. That said, the Cavs got away with it against the Magic because the Magic are equally, if not worse. Like I phrased it like this: like the Cavs got away with it against the Magic because the Magic take the 29th most threes in the league, so the second fewest threes in the league, and shoot the fourth worst. The Celtics take the most threes and shoot the second best. This Cavs offense cannot keep up with the Celtics offense if things continue to play out the way they have played out. Not to mention the fact that the Celtics defense is just as, if not better, than the Magic's defense. Like it's just going to be math. Like the Celtics, we can get into, can the Cavs attack Al Horford on the perimeter in the pick and roll with Donovan Mitchell? Can Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, run the pick and roll well like Tyler Hero and Adebayo tried to do, or the same thing with Donovan Mitchell? Can the Celtics play post up? Like at the end of the day, the Cavs don't hit threes, they're not going to win the games. And the Cavs have not hit threes. Donovan Mitchell's not a good 3-point shooter, especially in the playoffs. And if they're not making them, if Max Strus continues to shoot as poorly as he has, George Niang, Caris LeVert, all these guys continue to struggle, and the Celtics can close out on shooters, I think we're going to see a lot of similar games to games 3, 4, and 5 of the Heat series. Because as good as much as the Heat or the Cavs have better offensive creators than the Heat, they don't have shooters, and neither do the Heat. And if you don't have guys that can make 3-point shots, you're not going to beat the Celtics. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think the Cavs will be a better test, a better team for the Celtics to play. I don't know. I struggle to see the world where they're shooting miraculous, and they have room to improve. Max Strus can shoot a lot better. Niang, LeVert, they can all improve, but it's just not enough. I just don't think it'll be enough for them to beat the Celtics in a 7-game series.
Well, it might get even worse for Cleveland because JB Bickerstaff has options, but if he prioritizes for any stretch defense, and Isaac Okoro is out there, and he did a really nice job on Banchero in the second half yesterday, but if he's out there, that's a shooter to play off. So now if the Celtics want to, they can start blitzing Donovan Mitchell in the pick and roll. And that becomes a problem for Cleveland. And it's someone you can abandon to wreak havoc defensively. So to me, I just think that Cleveland, the holes are too significant. They're going to lose the math equation, presumably. And most games, if not all of them in the series, they will lose that math equation. So to me, there's a lot of issues for this team. And, even Evan Mobley having to go up against Jason Tatum for the bulk of the time that he's on the floor, that's a matchup where, as much as I love Mobley, you say you'll take that if you're the Celtics happily. And so to me, Cleveland, there's too many concerns with this team. I don't rule out Georges Niang dusting himself off for this series after being invisible in round 1, but Max Strus is streaky. Niang is coming off doing nothing. And as we spoke about on Friday, the minivan tends to run out of gas, even on his best nights. So Cleveland, you can look at the roster. I think some of these guys, they're better on paper than they actually have been production-wise.
It feels like the Cavs are going to have to do a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul in this series. We talked about offense versus defense, and they legitimately have to roll out different lineups to match whatever they're going for. Like you mentioned, Okoro. Jack and I mentioned the Al Horford thing last night when we were talking about the series preview. That's a perfect guy to stick Horford on. So he's either, one, not having to guard perimeter guys handling the ball, looking to blow by him. 2, not getting put in pick and roll actions because Cleveland probably prefer to use Mobley as a screener, not Isaac Okoro. So that's a great way to hide Horford. And then, like you mentioned, if you're putting Niang, Strus, those type of guys out there, you're giving the Celtics more leeway to attack on offense. You're going to really have to open yourself up if you're Cleveland, if you want to hang with the Celtics in a shootout. And it's just something that doesn't feel that realistic. This has always been the series since before the playoffs that I was looking at the standings, watching the final day and being like, how sick would it be if they got to pick from Cleveland, Orlando, second round? It would be like a bye. Here we are.
Yeah, the way the Celtics playoff path has been laid out for them is win without Porzingis, right? Like obviously you'd like to have Porzingis. Obviously the series is going to be more difficult without Porzingis, but you take Porzingis off this Celtics team, they're still better than the Cavs. They're still a better team than the Cavaliers. They're still a better team than the Heat. They should be able to win the series. And if anything, the way they handled playing without Porzingis in the final Heat game makes me optimistic that they will be able to continue to sustain that, because they played with even better ball movement. They played with even better offensive tempo. They played with even better pace up and down the floor. And it felt like they were trying to, rather than make up for Porzingis' absence with ISO scoring and trying to do it themselves, they made up for it by playing even more team basketball, which is how they usually play with Porzingis anyways, but they sort of doubled down on it, which was nice to see. And if they continue doing that against the Cavs, then I mean, we want Boston chants speak for themselves. Like, do you really? The Cavs have won every home game, to their credit, I suppose. That said, the Magic decided that when they stepped into what is it? What is Cleveland's
Kia.
arena called?
Kia
Center.
Oh,
When-
no, Cleveland's
Rocket
arena?
Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Yes.
Rocket
Kia
Mortgage
Center's
Field,
Orlando.
yeah. No. When the Magic decided when they stepped into Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, they just you don't really feel like putting the ball in the hoop. You don't really feel like scoring today. We're gonna take the night off. And
Light's too bright.
call
Front.
me
It's the largest
a
blown lead in the Game 7.
yeah, and call me crazy. Don't think the Celtics are going to have the exact same trouble scoring as the Magic do. Now,
Fingers
the
crossed.
Celtics,
Yeah, this is where some Cavs beat reporter puts this into a video montage.
that's fine.
I love
they
that.
can. But the Celtics struggles scoring is the equivalent of a good scoring game for the Magic in the first round. I'll put it that way. Like, it's just, there's different levels, they're different playing fields. They're in different conferences or different leagues. It's just not the same thing at all. So, I don't know. Obviously, the Celtics need to stay focused. They can't treat this like the relaxed series as people are painting it, as I have painted it, as we have painted it. But they haven't done that all season, and I think they'll be pretty all right.
Well, so that's, you mentioned two things where it's about the Celtics, regardless of the opponent. One is maintain the same edge that you had for most of the Miami series, especially in Game 5. The Heat didn't really show up that night. They were ready to go to Cancun, and the Celtics didn't care, and they ran them off the floor and kept throwing haymaker after haymaker after haymaker. So that's one, is maintaining that edge and coming with the right approach. And the second one is pace. It's crucial. When this team is playing at a slower tempo, it's problematic. And then when you get into the half court, you need to maintain that pace and continue to be fast and keep it moving. It can't be too much of just dribble, 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 dribble. Everyone else is standing around watching, waiting to see what unfolds. That is how you reduce the margin for error there. That's how you make it easier for the Cavaliers to pull off an upset, at least for a game. So to me, it's about the Celtics handling what they need to do, which doesn't change from a night-to-night basis.
Yeah, I feel like the Celtics got punched in the face in that game too, and then they were like, "That's enough of that. We're sick of losing at home. We don't want that to be our reputation." And it's a small sample size, but in the 3 games after that game too, they were dominant. None of those games were really in question, and if they're able to carry that over and keep that chip on their shoulder, they're going to be a dangerous team to play regardless if Porzingis is there or not. The beauty of this Celtics group is they've had so much experience playing together in the past, Tatum, Brown, playing alongside Al Horford. It doesn't really feel like you're losing something with Porzingis, at least in this series. It's more like you would be gaining something if you had him. He is like a found money type character in a situation like the one in front of us. Now, as the playoffs go on, you're going to need him, and it's going to be a loss to not have him. But right now, you should be able to take care of business without it. Just continue to play hard. I thought Horford was great in the Heat series, which is a fantastic thing after what we saw last year from him. And just Derek White stepping up in those last couple games should make you feel a little bit better too. The ability for him to knock down not only shots, but tough shots, create shots for himself at times. Miami, they could not put the ball in the basket, but they were trying their best on defense. So it's not like you played against me and the boys out there as you were trying to score. You have a little bit of experience against a team that's going to try and muck things up.
Yeah, I mean, Timo says more confident than ever. It's just the math, it alone is enough for me to be like, all right, I don't understand how the Heat are going to win more than a game by having a crazy shooting night. I think there's too many holes in the Cavs defense for the Celtics to pick on. Even Jared Allen, who's a great defender and who's been hurt for a lot of the first round.
Yeah,
Jason Tatum was able. yeah, Jason Tatum was able to bring him out on the perimeter and just cook him from there. And so I just don't see an effective way for the Cavs to match up with the Celtics in either end of the floor. How's the Cavs bench compared to the Celtics? Philip asks. Well, considering they're trotting out Tristan Thompson and Marcus Morris in the year of 2024, our Lord and Savior, I don't think it's very great. I feel pretty okay for the Celtics in that respect as well.
All fun and games till Marcus Morris has a 19-point game on 7 of 9 shooting and 2 of 3 from 3. Man's gonna cook. He's gonna have like a black hole post-up game, ISO, like poor man's Mellow.
With Marcus, it's not that he would cook, it's that he would do some dirty, flagrant shenanigans. So he's the concern like you would have if you were still playing the Miami Heat about crossing the line. The guys who just have that night where they go crazy. Karis LeVert has been a Celtics killer in the past, so you don't expect it, but he's done it before in the regular season. And then the other one is the guy that we've talked about Friday and today already, the minivan. If he did nothing in the first round, but if he just gets a bunch of open threes and is hitting them, again, even in that scenario, he tends to run out of gas in the second half, but you never know. Maybe he has a night where he just goes off and then Max Strus doesn't come off the bench, but obviously he's streaky and it's in him to have a big night from beyond the arc, which they're going to need.
You can speak for yourself on maybe not thinking LeVert's going to have a big night. That man's going to average 40 in this series on 50% from three, 75% from the field. It's just how he always seems to play against the Celtics. He's had multiple 40-plus point games, might have had a 51-pointer, the one that Jack and I were both at when they came back. Yeah, that was the game Marcus fouled.
I was not there.
I thought
you keep saying, I don't know. I was not there. You keep saying I was there, but we talked about it after the fact. I was not there.
Oh. All right.
The memory is more fun if you were there.
My bad. You're right.
That was the day I went with like on a URI trip. Like they had like go to the game, go on the school or not school bus. It was like a coach bus. And we go back to the bus and the bus driver's just ripping a cigarette. And I was like, maybe I should ask.
Hauser's leading in net rating for the playoffs. Is that true?
Yeah.
Like that's what team. I don't know, man. The Cavs are a fine team. They had a really, really good stretch in the middle of the season there when they played all the bad teams and they won all the games. And everyone was like, "Oh, the Cavs are here," and then they played the good teams again. And they're like, the Cavs are not here again. I know Sam and I both picked the Magic. Bobby, did you pick the Magic to win the series, or did you pick Cleveland?
Well, so I kind of lost the point I would have earned because my pre-series prediction was Cleveland. But yesterday, I like this Orlando team. They got a lot of dogs. It is a really good defense. And especially when I saw the Mitchell excuse and the confirmation that Allen wasn't playing again, yesterday I was on Orlando going against my pre-series prediction. So I kind of lost the point for that. And it looked good in the first half, but then they melted.
I see. I see. I don't know. I feel okay about the Celtics going into the series. I think they should be fine. Is there anything else? There's definitely more. Bobby, anything else that you think we should cover about the series?
I mean, something that we've kind of noted here is that, man, if Jared Allen's out, even if it's for one night, and that center rotation includes Tristan Thompson, that is a problem. And like if Evan Mobley has to play center in a smaller lineup, maybe that's really good for Cleveland and it unlocks more spacing and everything, but they could get smashed on the boards and have a lot of problems keeping up with the Celtics, not to mention that going small for them still includes multiple targets defensively on the perimeter. So I just don't think Cleveland has the horses to the point where I could see a scenario, right? Like Marvel Universe alternate timelines. I could see a world where Orlando, because of their defense, that proved to be the most formidable challenge the Celtics would have to deal with in round one between what either of these two teams presents.
Yeah, I feel that. Tristan Thompson. Is he going to get a tribute video? Don't think he's been back since 2021.
Slightly longer than Grant's.
Him and Marcus Morris shared a number, both number 13 on the Celtics. Yeah, it would be funny if he just got one and Grant didn't get one. Donovan Mitchell, Phil put it in the chat. He has been unbelievable. His teammates are doing everything to go home, and he will not let it happen. Had 50 in game 6, more than half the team's points, all of their fourth quarter points. And then he had a monster game 7 too. So you got to keep him in check. That is probably number one priority for me, just because you don't want them to feel confident. You don't want them to get going. You want to put out any kind of semblance of hope that they can just ride his coattails to a few wins in the series. Game 1, put it to bed. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought there was another pause. I got
it's okay.
Also, I don't know where the context is with this. Youngsters taking over the league. Okay, see. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is like 5 months younger than Jason Tatum. Are we okay? What are we? 4, yeah. What are we
I saw a post on Reddit today. It was like Ja, Shea, and Chet, Wemby. I don't know, take your pick, bunch of other young guys. But like it was like, who's looking forward to watching this for the next 10 years? And like Luka wasn't on there, Tatum wasn't on there. People were like, Luka die?
Hello, Eli. The one I'll give you is Anthony Edwards. He's like 22, and he's nasty. I'll give you Ant, but Wemby too. But like saying Shea and like some of these other guys who are like Tatum's age, and then basically saying, nah, F that guy. He's not like, let's leave Tatum out. It's like, I'll never get. Anyways,
Timo.
I mean,
fire.
Even with Ant, and this isn't an Ant thing because everyone loves him. How can you not? Also, great job in the Netflix movie with Adam Sandler. But like some of the commentary gassing up Ant was Tatum's never done anything like this before. It's like, that's insane that people don't hold on to this stuff. And they'll come back around if Tatum wins a championship. Then all the stuff that's not getting counted right now will all of a sudden go towards just piling on his accomplishments.
It's facts. They'll be like, this guy might be the GOAT. He had all these conference and finals appearances before he was 26, won his first title at 26. How many does he get in the next 10 years? The league is cooked. All those dumb posts of people, the aggregation accounts with the fire emojis, sirens, all of it. But yeah. And Andrew's like saying he didn't look good against Miami. I think that's like a sarcastic message. If it's not, I apologize.
No. I think he's genuine.
If he's being genuine, then respect. But
is this sarcasm, Andrew?
I take it as sarcasm. Tatum was seeing 3 defenders every time and just didn't want to force everything.
I know, like Justin says. Like he's just doing what he needs to do to win.
I talked about it. Like Derek White had 2 monster games to close the series out. If you're Jason Tatum, I have the utmost respect for you finally reading the room and just deferring and not taking difficult shots when you don't have to, because defenses are begging you to do that. You're making the right calls, and they're paying. Derek White having 30 points, 38 points in game 4. How many in game 5? Like 25, 26 points?
Yeah.
I think 24?
Oh, no, he thought he looked good. Okay,
okay.
You gave me a chance to talk about
it. Yeah, I don't get it. It is what it is. I'm just happy Tatum's making the right play, and I think that's that. Let him keep doing it. It's fine with me.
Game 1, step back 3 is back. He's balling against his buddy Donovan Mitchell. Him and Jalen are like, we have to highlight him. Watch.
Tatum didn't shoot well. He didn't shoot particularly well in the first series, but he only took 6.2 threes a night, which is way down from his regular season average. So we'll see.
Miami also did a good job on catch and shoot threes with him. That his percentage wise his accuracy was way down from the regular season, but it's different when you have so many people selling out to stop you in particular.
And again, it also didn't matter because a lot of his buckets and a lot of his misses were when the Celtics were up by 20 points because they stopped the Heat for 3 straight games. That said, trivia time. All right, turn the chats off.
Chat going off.
Chat off.
Now, I was going to do most points scored by a Cavs player against the Celtics since 2014 or 2010 or whatever. Didn't feel like doing LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin. Be boring, right?
I almost said, can I just have my first guest be LeBron?
No. Since we've talked about threes, the Cavs made 63s in their first round series in 7 games. The Celtics made 75 in their first round series in 5 games. Heading into the second round, my question to you two: Cumulatively, so in total, since 20, let me check. I have 2014 written here. I'm gonna make sure it's 2014. Yep, since 2014, so including the 2014 playoffs, who has made the most threes against the Celtics in round 2?
In round 2.
In the second round, most threes made against the Celtics by one player or by a player. Just round 2.
Devastating that Sam gets to go first this series based on how last one ended.
Chat's off.
Now I feel like an idiot because I feel like I should have an obvious answer.
I'm just saying the way the last game ended. That one stung.
Okay.
We went to the locker room heads down.
He didn't play in that series. This sucks. I'm like trying to do math in my head. It's not working for me. There you go. You said since 2014. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Timo says it's 4:30 a.m. and I'm in bed watching HPTC. I always forget you're in like Hawaii, Timo. Muse. Let me see for you. I don't think that one's in there.
I apologize. Like, this is going to be a long one for me.
No, that's not a bad guess. Timo, also not a terrible guess. Actually, Timo, it's not as good. For context, exactly what I typed into StatMuse. Most threes made by player in Eastern Conference semifinals against Celtics since 2014. Just so we're clear. No, that's not a bad guess, Eli. I gotta answer the chat if no one's gonna give me a guess.
No. I'm not getting mad at you. I'm mad at myself because I like blanking. I'm gonna guess Lowry.
Alrighty. $15.
Wow. I will go James Harden.
17.
Tough. Very tough.
This is cumulatively, Eli, since 2014. So, yes, like you're saying in the first thing, it's not just a single series, it's cumulative. Yeah, I got you new.
This might be a really bad guess. I'm going to guess Pat Connaughton.
$22. 22.
You just put me into cardiac arrest.
22.
Did you do it on purpose? Did you put the 0 up there on purpose?
Not everyone's out to get you. Breathe.
Not everyone, but you might be.
Breathe.
You have more motive than most.
Breathe. The heat are gone, brother. You can calm down.
I'm split between two people. I'll go Brooke Lopez. I feel like this could be a small. I feel like this could be a small number. Yeah, that's
really
Brooke. You fraud.
I thought it would have been more than that.
He had 2 series against them. That's all he
That's
could
what I
muster.
thought.
Mm.
That would have been my next guess. Whew.
Mm.
That saved me.
He made 1 in the entire 2022 series.
What a loser.
Bless up. Respect, Brooke.
I actually listened to all of these this morning when I was in bed. I was like, let me just listen to see what's happening.
I mean, Kendrick is slaughtering him.
I think so too.
The answer to that question is not me, because it's just all my timeline is. I'm going on Twitter in the morning, like trying to get my NBA fix. And I got to look at this. But I guess Drake's a pedophile. What are you going to do? He doesn't care. That's literally like, that was his answer is, what are you going to do? When they said that about him. Man. I'm going to guess Brad Beal.
Oh, my next guess. That's the knockout blow.
Might not be. Not a bad guess. I was afraid to guess that because I was like, well, times have changed since then.
It wasn't like he had a great series, but it also went 7.
Yeah, that was the thing for me.
There is a name who would be hilarious if he's actually a good answer on this, but I mean, he's just not.
Ben Simmons would be a bad guess. Yes, Bobby.
Yeah, we're going to keep Ben Simmons in the holster.
So I read a post today that was like, when Ben Simmons won Rookie of the Year, what would you have thought his prime stat line would be? Sad to think that the answer was probably his Rookie of the Year campaign. Just kidding. He had like solid seasons after that, but you know, tough. Somebody posted on the Celtics subreddit from J. Cole's quote-unquote Huntin' Wabbits song. Make big chips stack till they tall as Chris Stapps. Little Celtics line. Me and your squad is mismatch. Another Celtics Cavs line. Your Cavs ain't strong enough to follow his path. He knew.
J. Cole, like the Simpsons, predicted the future.
Timo, that's not a bad guess. Timo's mad at me for not answering them. Sorry, I was listening to the music. Andrew, no, because that team didn't play the Celtics in the second round. Philip, yes, good answer.
Good answer.
What are we thinking, Bobby?
Well, we're once again torn. I know it was only one series, and it's not going to do enough to bridge the gap unless Sam has a Brook Lopez-like guess, but I'll go with Chris Middleton.
I thought about he was my initial first guess, but then I was like, he didn't play. Good guess.
Should have just done him. When I was split between him and Brook, that's a mulligan we'd like back. To pull a comeback on Sam now and beat him in the last round would be electric.
I would hate that, personally. I'm going to guess. Oh, man.
Whenever one of you guys says, I'm going to guess, I just put my head down because I know you're not guessing anytime soon.
Facts.
I guess Norm Powell.
Ooh, I like that guess.
Oof.
We're going to be here for a while on this one, in case that needed to be stated explicitly.
Good guess, Timo. W guess. Phenomenal guess. Timo, some could say the best guess.
Props, Timo.
Huh. Hmm.
It's tough because there's you go through certain options and then you can't quite remember everyone from a series. And then you wonder if the name that's not coming back to memory was just like a scrub, or if that's going to be one of the people that should have been guessed.
Oh man, this is brutal.
This
This is
is
a
tough.
brutal question.
This is one of the hardest we've had.
No.
Lewis, it's not up to me. Don't blame me.
That's fair, Lewis.
It's not my fault.
All right. I don't love this guess, but there's no names coming to mind that I love. So props to Timo for nailing it. I will go with JJ Redick.
We're on the last round. It was very bad. Very bad.
For retention, yes, I agree.
Very bad.
I'm gonna start giving y'all 30-second timers next game.
No, I was gonna say you can't start now. This is a tough one. This is a
No.
brutal one.
Next game there will be 30-second, or I'll give you a minute timer.
I apologize.
I mean, I just took like 10 minutes.
Yes, do you like the pod, like Philip says? Thank you. Like the stream. For this riveting content.
Appreciate you, Philip.
Man. I feel like I should know this. I feel like this is somebody that should be burned into my brain that I despise. Man. I'm sorry. I'm going to guess Tyrese Maxey.
That's a good guess.
19.
Okay.
That's got to be Blouses.
Yeah, that it is. You had a chance. When he gets Norm Powell, you could have gotten back into it because you guys didn't get the top guy. But yeah.
Did Timo guess the top guy?
Yes.
Props to him.
I didn't even. That name did not even cross my mind.
Mm-hmm. Freddie. 24.
I was
One
trying
series.
so hard to think about
Multiple
who could have
series.
been on that Raptors team.
The one that came to mind was OG, and I knew it wasn't him.
He's a 13.
I knew that 1-3 he made was gonna count for 10 in my head. So I was like, I'm not guessing.
Mm-hmm. Van Fleet was 1 at 24. Maxey or Connaughton was 2 at 22. Then Maxey, then Harden, then Middleton. Drew Holiday at 15.
I considered
He
him.
made that many.
Serge Ibaka
yeah.
at 15. Because he played two series technically. Lowry, Beal, Giannis, OG. Yeah. There you go. Oh.
Maxey was a clutch pull at the end.
I had to go with a safe one. I thought about doing Embiid.
That would have been wild.
Because I was like, oh, he had 2 series where he was the guy. He must have made it a decent amount.
Van Fleet attempted over 10 threes a game in that series. All right. Embiid, for what it's worth, would have gotten you 9. So, yeah. All right. Sourdough Sam is mascot for which NFC team?
West of the Mississippi.
I have no idea.
Sourdough Sam?
It's got to be Cowboys have a horse mascot, so but it's definitely some team that a guy is there.
Niners?
The Niners.
Is it? Okay.
That's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
Fair enough. Later broken by Francisco Rodriguez, Bobby Thigpen setting MLB record with 57 saves in the season while playing for this Central team.
19.
I've never heard of Bobby Thigpen, so.
No idea. We skip.
Wait, give it a second. 1 second.
Sam, they've waited enough. Do you really know who Bobby Thigpen is? my God.
I think it's the Cleveland now Guardians, but I'm not sure. No.
That would have been sick.
After stints with Colorado and Buffalo, the center won the Conn Smith Trophy in his first year with the Blues as he helped them win the 19 Stanley Cup. I've gotten this.
I feel like this
terrible.
one, people will know because they beat the Bruins.
I've not a clue. Not even an inch of a clue. So we come back to it. What is the state capital of Kansas? Topeka.
Yep.
Celebrity mashup.
It's Scorsese and somebody else.
I don't know.
Who's that guy? Who's the actual facial features?
No idea. I have zero clue.
No
I
idea.
have no clue either.
This sucks today. What are we doing? Oakart?
I got nothing. You know I got nothing.
Hugh Laurie's house? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's house. Yeah,
It's
definitely
house.
House MD or just house?
Yeah. It's House MD. It's the same show.
Stupid. Box office. Rainn Wilson played a failed musician, joined his nephew's band in 2008. This sucks.
Yikes.
Nephew's band. I don't know.
American singer. Oh, Posner.
I would not have got that. We are struggling, fellas.
This is horrible.
Well, this is what happens when you have me and Bobby sitting here having our brains rot, trying to guess 3-point totals.
I don't think that has anything to do with us not knowing the 2008 comedy starring Rainn Wilson, Josh Gad episode, and Christina Applegate.
Where are you, RJ?
An obvious correlation.
Yeah, clearly, if you guys hadn't thought 20 years about trivia, you would know this, right?
Maybe we'd be fresher.
So you'd know this.
All that just to guess Brooke Lopez.
I don't know any of this. I have nothing. I have no even semblance of a clue on any of these questions.
I have no idea.
I would like to give up.
This is a give up.
I give up. I just want to know the answers. Ryan O'Reilly, never.
Wouldn't have got it.
White Sox, nope. The Rocker, nope.
Nope.
Scorsese and Jeff Probst.
All right.
Bacardi, yeah, no, never. It was just never gonna.
Jack is furious, dude.
They
made a out of me on my own show.
Sam's made me edit 3 times today. This is phenomenal.
You can't say that.
No, we've been over this.
You should be able to say that.
We don't make the rules.
There's difference between should be able to and can. Please.
They can say it on the radio.
This isn't the radio. We do the same thing every time. Bar for bar.
That's one of my favorite mini rants. The delivery was perfect.
All right.
If we ever do some kind of montage with stuff, that's got to make it in.
I've got 3 tabs open with timestamps because Sam swore
This isn't the radio. Bar for bar.
But they have to like follow FCC laws, like compliance stuff. Like it should be like one universal, like you can't say this.
Well, too bad.
I know that's not how it is, but government, get it together.
It's not the government. It is a corporation. It is a different. There's the government
standard.
Bobby, any final thoughts?
I think we nailed it, and that's how we go out on a high note. That's the perfect way to cap this episode.
Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to check out Bobby's work at si.com/NBA/Celtics, and I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for sticking with us this whole time if you made it. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with something new every morning at 5 a.m., whether it's full pods Tuesday, Thursday, and one of the weekend days, usually Sunday. Game recaps the morning after each game or something else in between. We're here for you. You also have these Talking C's streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings tentatively. We have Celts the Round Table typically Tuesday, but tonight it is happening. Monday around 6 p.m. we will be here to preview the second round series. There's a game tomorrow. Everyone will be there. Tough to do Talking C's in the round table that day. Pre-game, we're here for a half hour before every single one. Come hang out. Make sure you give Bobby a follow on Twitter at Bobby Kravitsky. Check out his work for Inside the Celtics, part of SI Media. He's on the beat, giving you some great coverage. You can find our show on Spotify and Apple as well. The pods and game recaps are there for you. So if you follow, they'll go right to your feed. You can leave us a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can also email us. hbtcpod@gmail.com is the address. Send us your thoughts on this series. Send us your rat list. We'd love to hear from you. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. The Facebook is just the name of the pod. Our streams are there. They're on YouTube and they're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's Money NBA. Bobby's is at Bobby Kravitsky. Mine is at Samuel France NBA. It's it for us.
Taco, come on. Taco.